Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game and we're returning to Rule the Waves 2, where we're playing as the US in a war against France. So last time we did fight a very hard fought battle in the Bay of Biscay, where we fought the French obviously, and we did sink quite a couple of ships. I think we should see it over here, shouldn't we? So sunk ships, yeah, the Richelieu, the Friedland, the Redoubtable, all of these battleships, including the very modern Redoubtable, and some of their best battle cruisers. So that was certainly a very good win. Nevertheless, it was also putting a strain. Oh, I should maximize this. It was also putting a strain on our force, because now our battleships are very much damaged, as you can see over here. All of our battleships participating are out between 1 and 3 months. There's also the Alabama, which is currently stuck in the Caribbean. And yeah, that is a bit of an issue, and you can see various other ships. In between episodes I did look a little bit at this, and I found that the San Juan light cruiser over here, it's a very old type cruiser design. It only has 7 6-inch guns, some light AA guns, some torpedo tubes, some mines. It's really not that great. And you know what, it's obsolete, it's in repair, so I think, you know what, we can scrap this ship. It is a little bit too old. So yeah, that should be okay. Right, other than that though, I think we are fine. Let's take the turn and hope that Richmond is finishing up. That's nice to see. We have gotten hold on the battle cruiser here, so 8 16-inch guns. That's somewhat similar to our battle cruisers. Probably their armor is a little bit different to ours, but other than that it looks somewhat similar, so that's interesting. Ooh, and we have the Redoubtable. We know now more about its armor. That's interesting to see. 10 15-inch guns, yeah. That we were certainly fighting. Improved airship engines is not important. We don't want to have anyone in... Ooh, new fighters. Very nice. So we got the Model C. Slightly better speed, slightly better range, slightly better firepower. That's good. That's very important. So yeah, that's lovely to see. North American West Coast. We do see French raiders there, and we have a battleship engagement in the Bay of Biscay again. Now this is a large battle. Unfortunately, we only have 1 battleship, whereas they have up to 5. It is going to be an Arizona class battleship for us, and we will have our carriers. But is that going to be enough? That's going to be 3. You know what? We're going to decline this battle. I don't want to risk a single of our battleships engaging all on its own. That would have been the Colorado. Yeah. No, I don't want to do that. We do need to keep it in line with the rest of our ships. Some of our ships will be finishing up. We are currently running a surplus of 3 million, which is certainly very nice to see. I think we'll build that up just a scooch, and then we will be able to send... Ooh, with our fleet firmly in control in the waters of the Caribbean, our troops have invaded the French Antilles. That's also very nice to see. Raleigh itself has finished its working up, so we've got more or less a full complement of 6 light cruisers now. That's very nice to see. Without border changes, no, we are very much dominant. Yeah, unfortunately there is peace now, and now we have to actually look at what areas do we want to have. So I think I would like the Antilles. We could also think about indeed Tunisia or Algeria. That would give us a base in the Mediterranean, and that wouldn't be too bad. Corsica would be much better, but it's a little bit more expensive as well. Polynesia, to get something in the South Pacific. You know what, let's pick Tunisia instead of Algeria, and then we can get the Antilles in the Caribbean, so block their base over there and get Polynesia, and that will be very nice. We are running not so much of a budget over here anymore. Effective smoke generators, nice to see, but not that important. Right, so let's have a look here. So we did gain the Antilles. That should be over here. So let's actually look at the bases. Right, so yeah, they lost no French base here in the Caribbean anymore. We have got Polynesia, that's nice. Not really that critical, but nice. Yeah, and we do have Algeria now. Tunisia, sorry. Right, let's take a look at Tunisia and the Mediterranean. So we have Bizerte, Tunis, and... yeah, I think we should build an airbase at Tunis. Yeah, so we are building that. That should be okay. Right. All of the issues up here, we seem to be not so much spying against the Soviet Union. I think I would like to spy against the Soviet Union. Could strike them here in the Russian Far East. Potentially at the very least. Well, the range isn't really sufficient. How come we have so much better range from over here compared to over here? Eastern Aleuts, is that sort of a bigger base? North American West Coast is I think what we're looking at. Well, base capacity itself seems to be larger. Interesting. Alright, anyway, we do need to take care of our budget, so I think the first thing is that we're going to go for a location over here, and we are going to take everyone from Northern Europe, except for maybe the colon. So all of these Flosser, Barry, Saratoga, Raleigh, all of these guys, we will move you towards the east coast. There we go. These two guys actually do need to repair over here. And that's okay. And then in the Caribbean, we've got all of these guys. You should likewise move up towards the east coast. It's going to be alright. And then we have these guys down here in Southeast Asia. Couple of destroyers. I think it's okay to keep a couple of destroyers here. I think it's okay to keep a couple of light cruisers here. The carrier, the Montana. You know what? I think it's okay to, at the very least, mothball you, but actually I think scrapping the Montana is okay. Yeah, there we go. That does lead to a somewhat cleaner setup where we only have 2 carriers, but at least they are much more significant than all of the other stuff. In 2 months we'll be finished with the Richardson, and that will free up some funds. But yeah, we'll probably need to put some people on reserve or mothballed station. There we go. So is everyone? Yeah, you're still in Northern Europe. Let's move the Connecticut towards the east coast as well. And then I think we can take the Arizona and Alabama. We're going to put you in reserve fleet. There we go, saves us quite some money. And then in terms of light cruisers, we've got the Oakland classes. You're somewhat slow and somewhat underarmed. Yeah, but you're doing foreign station work and that's important. Well, the Ontario, I think we can scrap it. It's way too old. Tonnage on foreign stations is still okay, so it should be okay. Cleveland and Raleigh, both of these are okay ships. I think the Clevelands we can probably put to reserve. Okay, still saving us some money. Of course, money is going to come up again at some point very soon. How come you're in Central Pacific? Oh, you are on foreign station. You actually need to be on normal and come up towards, you know what, we can send you up to the west coast, I think. And then likewise you could be coming up to the west coast. Yeah, that's okay. And we've got all of these Barry classes. You can go to reserve. And then the hull classes. You know what? Let's actually take the Barry classes here towards mothball. The hull classes, you're going to be in reserve. Okay, you cannot do that because you're in a faraway area. That's okay. And all of these guys on the east coast, sorry, all of these guys here, all these corvettes on the east coast, you're going to be... okay, so let's... the Kingfisher, mothballed. the land forts, you're going to be reserve. Right, and the flossers we are going to keep in the active fleet. Right. Boosted industrial production, that means some more monthly balance. That's nice to see. Richardson is being commissioned. That's good to see. Some advances, not too much though. We're getting some money back. Our budget is starting to improve a little bit. We will be getting a couple of corvettes here, so that's nice too. And pretty dandy. Right, you guys are all over the place. Oh, we do not have enough tonnage on foreign stations. So let's actually get the Oxnard here to move to foreign station as well. And the Oakland itself. Yeah, now we are okay. Good. Yeah, you're still moving towards the west coast. I think I actually want to put you probably towards Southeast Asia. Probably a little bit closer towards the towards our home base. Electric elevation, gradual rate of fire improvement, that's nice to see. Are we interested in acquiring a new medium bombers? Apparently we do have 2 medium bombers currently in service. It's quite a bit faster. It doesn't really have the range, so that's a big drawback. And the bomb blow doesn't seem to be better at all. It's not capable of carrying torpedoes, so you know, no, that's a no. And you know, in terms of aircraft types, so indeed we do seem to have various different types at this moment. It's a little bit weird. So, torpedo bombers, flying boat. We have 2 flying boats. Why, I wonder? You are better, I think. Slightly better firepower, better range, heavier weaponry, medium torpedoes, somewhat exactly the same speed. So can we actually mark you as obsolete? What does buy mean? Cannot buy your own. Oh, can we buy other nations' aircraft? That's interesting. So our float planes are somewhat old, 7 years. So let's actually compare all float planes then. Yeah, well, we basically have no information whatsoever about these guys except for the firepower. We have very few float planes, though. Pretty much only on our battle cruisers that are being constructed. And I think on some of the Raleigh classes, no? 1 aircraft. Let's look at air groups. It doesn't even list them for single ships. Right, but the airbase in Tunis, we are going to add some aircraft over here. I think some medium bombers are going to be fine. Let's say 12 of those. That should be okay. And let's add further 8 torpedo bombers. That's okay. Nice. Good. How are the other guys looking? Well, we do still have fighters over here. Those are flying boats. I mean, they are very good scouts. Admittedly. Okay, let's build up the, no, that's Philadelphia, Tunis here. Let's expand the airbase here a little bit. Right, starting to run very low on money, but more commissions being, ooh, prestige and intentions, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, more money. More money is always good. And we do have enough money for 2 more months. Yeah, so I think that might be okay. Richardson has finished working up, something being finished. Battle cruisers of the Italians over here. Yeah, interesting. Battle cruiser of the Soviets. Does seem to be somewhat similar, I have to admit. The enemy ship designs seem to converge somewhat. Now this is a little bit different. 30 knots, 9 16-inch guns. Probably they don't have 4-inch, 4 caliber weapons. Yeah, still 2 months of funds left. Research breakthrough is always very nice to see. Flying boat update. Okay. Is that again someone in here? No. Yeah. Ah, this is so weird. Is this still being developed? Why don't we know anything about its reliability? Curtis Corsair. Are we using that somewhere? No, Martin. Weird. Very weird. Right, some ships are starting to show their age, especially the San Diego class over here. Do we need to rebuild you? Could put you towards Bulge, so that would give you a little bit more torpedo defense. Your torpedo defenses are pretty bad, as are your AA defenses. We should definitely get both of these things, deck park and deck edge lifts. Don't think we have catapults yet. Do we have them? No, we do not. Okay. Right, yeah. Do we want to upgrade them? Do we want to just scrap them? It's only 1 million to get these things. Right, and a little bit better AA. It's not a big upgrade, but still. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be that expensive. Let's no, not open for rebuild. Let's simply rebuild them. Rebuilt ship. Yeah, there we go. Come on, there we go. Right, money is starting to run a little thin here. So let's hold the construction of the Constitution for a second, so we can recover a little bit of money. Amphibious tractors, that's nice to see. Yeah, everything else is somewhat okay. Close to mastering increased fire hazardness, that's also nice, I suppose. No, we're not going to sell anything towards the Soviets. Improved gradual damage control, yes, nice to see. Night surface torpedo attacks increase submarine effectiveness. We're not really using submarines, so yeah, that's okay. Let's resume the construction now, and I think we do have enough money to finally finish that up. Yeah, and that should be okay. Naval aviation dive bombing. Yes, we definitely do need dive bombing. So let's actually go to aircraft types. Let's request a new proposal for a dive bomber. The first priority that I have for you is actually, I think, probably range. And the secondary priority is bomb load. Let's see what we are going to get. San Diego finishing its reconstruction, nice to see. One of our cruisers has run aground on the shore. Threatened to impound. Improved anti-air director. Improves heavy AA and middle AA effectiveness. So the thing is, we are still not capable of building these things. Let's look at the air groups in Tunis. I think we want to add some flying boats over here. Maybe, let's say 8. And that does give us some capabilities to change the numbers here. Maybe up to 12. And then up to 20 medium bombers. I think medium bombers have been doing very good things for us. Right, and that should be okay. Yeah, lovely. Next turn. Pueblo. Flight deck catapults. Ha! Now we get them. Well, that's interesting because that, of course, is an extremely good improvement that you can make. So let's have a look at our aircraft carriers at the Saratoga class. So we would definitely want some... And I don't know. Okay, so it's not forward. Is it forward center line? Spot value is 44. And without that it's... Well, that's not that much better. How about these two positions? Is that legal? Yeah, it is. Interesting. Okay, and we do have the rate remaining for this, so I think this is going to be a good update. We're also going to get some AA directors and more. See, I still can't use medium anti-aircraft units. Right, so let's update this here towards 48 light thingies, and that's okay. Yeah, nothing else that we really want to update, so that is good enough, I think. Well, you might know what, since you do have guns, we might as well give you an advanced director. It's going to be 500,000, but I think it's okay to do that just for the slightly better gun thingies. So, is that legal? Yeah, it is. Good, let's go. That's going to cost us quite a bit of money, but I think that's fine. Rebuild both of these. Just losing 1 million per turn, so that's okay. Another glimpse on the Soviet battlecruisers. Nothing too surprising there. Disarmament. No. We don't want disarmament. We want more tension so that we are getting more money. We are seeing the tensions come up with the Soviet Union, interestingly enough. So let's briefly check out. So we've got the airbase in Stavanger. We do have the airbase in Tsingtao, so we probably need to populate that by aircraft. So let's look at the air groups. And the game has been bogging me for a while, so let's add an air unit. Medium bombers, 20 aircraft, that's nice. Another unit of torpedo bombers, 20, that's okay. We might do fighters. I think we have to. Truth to be told, the enemy hasn't been using that many. Well, but there's so many. The Japanese are up, but the Japanese are very nice to us, actually. Floatplane scouts. Yeah, we do need scouts. Sorry, yeah. Flying boats, actually. That's the ground-based version. Okay, and then let's add 10 fighters. There we go. That's fine. Does cost us much more money, but I think we will be alright, because in only 2 months we're gonna get another ship. 1 month? Constitution! Langley and Saratoga. So that's extremely good. It's only 1 ship building and we're gonna get that in a year. So this is the Lexington class, which is unfortunate Constitution ship. We did rename that while it was being built. I don't think we can rename the class now that it's in there. Okay, we don't really have radars so far, so that's okay. Yeah, some more ships starting to become outdated, as denoted by that little O, or obsolete. We would need to rebuild this ship, but I don't think there's much to be had to be rebuilding these guys, actually. Maybe an AA director. Maybe an advanced director over here. Starting to run a little bit expensive already. Could upgrade the guns. Could make this dual purpose. And add directors on this. All in all, that wouldn't be a bad choice. It would breathe in a lot of new life to this somewhat older ship, actually. But we do need to save some weight here. 4.3 million. Suddenly it's not that inexpensive anymore. What would just... the paint job would just be 600,000. And is this really so expensive to dial down on this one? No. This is not expensive either. Now we could fit in torpedo reloads. Well, we only have 2 torpedoes. This is a little bit irrelevant. Yes, I think upgrading the guns does add quite a bit towards the costs. So yeah, the director. I mean, an advanced director would be really nice. And it is only 2 million. Can we upgrade the numbers here? Probably not, no. At least not that sensibly. Right, so like this maybe? I think that's fine. Let's upgrade that one. It does mean we are not fulfilling the tonnage requirement on foreign stations anymore, which is a bit of an issue. So let's have a look at what we can send on foreign stations. Well, I think this on the... Why are you on the East Coast? You shouldn't be on the East Coast. You should be on the West Coast. Weird. Potentially due to the rebuilding. Okay, you guys are already, I think, effectively... No, you're already on foreign stations by virtue of being in Southeast Asia. So that's okay. We've got the Barry classes here. Interestingly enough, you are still in Northern Europe. Let's move the ship towards the East Coast. Yeah, so who else should we be sending on foreign stations? You're already there. The other guy is being repaired, so that does somewhat leave the Cleveland classes here. So yeah, you're going to be pulled out of reserve and to foreign station. And you as well. Yeah, for now that's okay. And yeah, it's only 3 months, so certainly gonna live with that. Flying boat update. Nice. What's changing? Well, basically the payload. 2,000 pound bomb is pretty nice though. So yeah, maybe another war with the French, maybe with the Soviets. Yeah, gonna have to see. What's the almanac saying? So we have 5 battleships. Great Britain has 8. France only has 2. They never really were able to build that up again. But they are building one of at least 40,000 tons. They do have a lot of battle cruisers. Yeah, so we have let's say call that 7 ships. They've got 8. Great Britain has 12. That's significantly more than we do. In terms of carriers, we do have a very nice superiority though. So that's okay. Germany building up a couple of light carriers. Interestingly enough. Right, shall we update this design as well? Let's open that for rebuild. Let's get the catapults. Does that work? Insufficient topside AA, no fire control, slightly overweight. Yeah. We're using coal here. Interesting. Right, okay, we need to dial down on this here a little bit. That's okay. 17 tons, that's not a lot. Slightly overweight. Can we save some money on something? Sorry, some weight on something. Well, not really, can we? This is strictly more tonnage. Could dial down on the AA. Yeah, this way it works. Only 2 directors? Yeah. Happy. I know we've just refitted them, but that's alright. Let's do this. Okay, fine. Next turn. Better 17-inch guns. We're not going to build 17-inch guns ships. They are way too big. We are starting to accumulate some money, so we should soon start to think about what we will be spending that on. And I am thinking about a new type of carriers. We've been building very nice carriers, but we might just want to get an upgrade here, especially with the air capacity rising. You can see already we would have 1,000 tons spare capacity just by gradual improvements. But I think we have some ways to improve on this design as well. But you know what? That's going to have to wait until next time. For now, I thank you very much for watching. Let's see you guys next time. Do leave a like and all of that if you want. Yeah. Otherwise, just see you next time.